Hello, it's Dr. Stephen Bradley, your friendly neighborhood anesthesiologist. Today I'm going to be talking about my career as an anesthesiologist in the United States Navy. Probably the most common question that I get when I tell people or when people find out that I am in the Navy is, what made you join practice anesthesia or practice as a doctor in the military? I think that's a very fair question, and depending on who you ask, you'll get different answers from pretty much every service member that is an active duty physician. The reason I joined the Navy is personal to me. I joined because of my family legacy. My dad's a retired naval officer, and I grew up as a Navy brat, so every couple of years my family would move. Mostly we stayed up and down the east coast of the United States. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to travel overseas or abroad. I was able to see different parts of the country, live in different states, meet different people, and have different experiences. And all of that was grounded by seeing my father come home wearing his Navy uniform and the experiences and the tradition that came with my dad's career in the Navy. Some of my most formative experiences and years were when we were stationed in Virginia. He was on an aircraft carrier, the Dwight D. Eisenhower, and I stowed away in the car and hid when he went to work one day. He took me aboard the ship and showed me around. He worked in the engineering department. So it was an awesome experience to sit there, to visit the ward room. I didn't really appreciate everything that I was seeing, and now coming back around for my own career, it's very awesome to see how things kind of coincide and how the traditions are still there, haven't changed. In addition to my dad, my little brother is actually a naval officer as well. He joined before I did. He did ROTC in college while I was still in medical school, so he's joined and he's probably 5 or 6 years ahead of me in terms of length of service. I knew I wanted to become a naval officer growing up, mostly because that's what I saw and that's how I was raised. I wanted to join after college, so I would be an officer. That was my dad's advice. My dad was an officer as well. After college, though, my plans changed and I ended up pursuing this path in medicine. So as I went down this path, I earned my master's degree in anatomy at the University of South Florida, and then I was accepted to Howard University College of Medicine, where I went for medical school. During my first year of medical school, I did apply to the HPSP, the Health Professions Scholarship Program. That's the program that's pretty common, and it pays your tuition in exchange for serving for 4 years on active duty in the military. Unfortunately, I did not receive that scholarship program, but I think everything definitely works out the way it's supposed to in life, and I think it did work out for the better. After graduating from Howard, I went to the University of Chicago for 4 years for my anesthesiology residency program. There was an amazing experience. I got exposed to so much cutting edge technology and research and complex patients, and the program had a lot to offer. After my first year in the anesthesia program, I applied for, was accepted into the financial assistance program, which is another military scholarship program. This program is a little different from the HPSP. They don't pay your medical school loans. They give you a stipend during residency, and the payback for me would be 4 years. It's a year for a year plus one. So I received the program for 3 years, so I would owe 4 years on active duty with the military. A lot of people assume that since I'm in the military, my student loans are paid off. They actually are not. Again, it just depends on how you join. With the program that I used, they did not pay my tuition for medical school, so I do have student loan debt. In a different video, a different conversation, I'll break down the costs associated with these military scholarships and the breakdown of the finances to see is it something that's worth it for you. Generally speaking, a career in the military, especially for young attendings, is not financially, it's not the best decision to make. Usually you should have some other reasons to join the service. What are some other reasons that people join the military? So some people join because they want to serve their country, which is, of course, probably one of the most common reasons. People join for legacy and family reasons. That's me. Some people join because they do need a way to pay for medical school. I have met some people like that. Some people join because they want to do some cool stuff. They get off the beaten path. There's definitely the opportunity to do that with the military. So a diverse number of reasons to join the military. Even growing up in a Navy brat, I had no idea what life as a military physician would be like, or how the career would be different from those of my civilian counterparts. And even during the recruitment period, a lot of times you'll be working with enlisted recruiters, and they, are good at recruiting people to join the military, but they don't really know about the medical corps, because the only people that really know about medical corps are the physicians and that are working in the medical corps. A lot of the stuff that pertains to the medical corps is different to the rest of the fleet. There's a huge difference between your regular Navy person and your medical corps officer. I'll discuss that in a different video as well. So sometimes, a lot of times you'll have enlisted or senior enlisted folks that are the recruiters, and they honestly have no concept of medical corps or even officer life. They've been around it for a long time, but they're not officers. And even if you have an officer recruiter, they're probably not medical corps. They could be nursing corps, staff corps, just a regular line officer, and they don't really know the intricacies of the medical corps. So I would say, if you're considering, if you're a medical student or a professional student or even a nursing student that is considering joining the military to practice in your field, you should find somebody that is whatever you are or hope to be in the military, and talk to them about their experiences with the military, and how they like their practice, what's different about it compared to their civilian counterparts. I highly recommend finding that out, because there's just no other way to really find out what you're getting yourself into.